This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Right. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Recovering. I got back from New York last week, and on Sunday I started to feel sick, have an upper respiratory infection, brother. So I'm coming back. I don't have COVID, don't have the flu, but fighting my way through it.
Did you eat a Dairy Queen hot dog?
No, I did not eat a Dairy Queen hot dog, but I was in stinky New York City, which is probably not good for anyone's health.
Okay, no, because I know what a Dairy Queen hot dog did to me, so I'm just saying. I'm just, it's just one of those things. So I kind of get it. All right. Recruiting trail. Let's get to it. What's going on recruiting NIL wise here with the Canes?
Well, they have 11 commitments, and they picked up a few of them last week. They got busy on the trail, picked up a pledge from Amari Wallace, who's one of the local DBs from Miami Central, a good player. They picked up his teammate, a linebacker, Ezekiel Marcelin, who's a 3-star kid. So they're doing well at Miami Central, which is what you would expect the program to do, right? Get some of the best players from one of the best programs consistently. But they're sitting in the 30s right now, and I've got to say, it's what I kind of predicted would happen. Recruits are not jumping on the board. The big time guys that they've been looking at and trying to get pledges from, because they want to see results, right? This is year 3 for Mario. And I think while people are getting a little antsy with the recruiting rankings, I tell them, hey, if Miami goes and takes care of business this year, they beat Florida on August 31st, and they have a great season like people expect them to because they've got Cam Ward at quarterback, then these guys are going to see it's the real deal. But if they go out and they go and win 7 or 8 games, lose to Florida, and it's a rough season, then you're going to see the results in recruiting. And I think it's just one hand always sort of washes the other when it comes to this.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And so out of what they're getting is, so if they're 30th, then we're talking about a lot of turnover during the season, because if you have a good season, if you have a great season and you are having all that success, they're going to try to search for other players that they want over these guys, right?
That's what happens, bro. I mean, and it's the sad reality of it, but yes, that's what happens. I mean, you basically have a pecking order, right? It's like a draft board. And the difference is that you don't have to draft anybody, right? You're not using picks here. What it is you have a pecking order, and you say, okay, if we can get this guy, if this guy's really going to sign with us, then we're going to drop this guy who we have 5th or 6th on our list. But it's the game of recruiting, and it's just the way that it is now. Obviously, NIL plays a factor in all of it. You got to have money to pay these kids now. Pretty soon, we're probably going to have a salary cap in some way, shape, or form in college football. And you got to make the money work. But I think ultimately they're in it. The fact that these kids are visiting Miami is a big deal. If you didn't get these guys on campus at all, right, which was the case sometimes in the past with previous coaching regimes, then I'd say, you expect a bad class. But the fact that these kids come and visit and they're interested and they're watching what Miami is doing, it's really all you can do at this point. You're not Ohio State, you're not Texas, you're not Alabama, you're not Georgia. You haven't won anything in 20 years. Yeah. So what are you selling other than dreams?
Yeah, and if he has a terrible season, then the guys that are committed start dropping like flies too, and then you're oh, Jesus Christ.
It's the way the game is played now, man. But look, kudos to Mario. He did his job the first 2 years. He flipped this roster. Mm-hmm. It is 100% his roster now, and he's just got to go out and win. Prove it. Prove that you can coach on Saturday and win games.
Yeah, give me better results.
Yeah, give me better results. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, so the Panthers won the championship. Yeah, man, and now the parade comes on Sunday, and something I don't miss covering. God, I don't miss any of that shit, by the way. I got to say, I'm kind of happy doing what I've been doing the last 4 years. I hope I can keep it going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I certainly don't miss that stuff. But, man, I was talking about, some of the parades that I've covered in the past. And I still remember covering a Canes parade back in the day downtown Miami. Yeah. Where I think they spoke at the courthouse, right, and then started going on the cars or something like that. Is that how it went?
Listen, it was many decades ago. And I mean the Orange Bowl was still standing back then. So yeah, I mean, it was a totally different. I mean, I can't even picture Miami like that anymore. Now I'm trying to close my eyes and think about that. It's
Correct, right? We did it in
yeah,
downtown Miami by the courthouse steps, and
right.
then the whole thing went downtown, right? Is that down Flagler? I think it was, right? Is that what it was? Or
That's my recollection of it. Yes.
yeah, I think that's what because I remember that one and the Marlins where I'm not the 97, not the 03, where I'm like running, chasing each of these cars and trying
Yeah.
to talk to the players and all that kind of stuff. And that is that one of the more pain in the ass events to cover as a writer?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Oh
I
God.
I enjoyed. I covered the ones with the Heat, and including the one with Shaq in '06, and the ones afterward, and those were easy to do because they always ended up back at the arena.
Right.
So
And
you ended up
the Heat is organized like a mofo, dude.
yes, yes,
Like they're at another level than everybody else, bro. They think things through. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Except for the media room with that goddamn buzz. That's
yes.
the thing they didn't figure out. That's the only thing they just like, hey, why don't we put the media room right next to a fucking generator so we can do it? Yeah, let's do it. It's a great idea. I don't know. I don't know who thought about that one, but that
Yeah.
was not good. That's the only thing that they failed in. But everything else, you're right. I remember because I remember the first one, I did a little bit of that and they all ended up there. But yeah, dude, that was
Do you remember the Dolphins one?
no, no.
I wasn't around for that, so I don't. Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Now, what I do remember is in the 80s, when we did make the Super Bowl, we hit it on 8th Street, bro. We were
Yes,
hugging and all that.
I was down there.
No pots and pans. We didn't whip out the pots and pans at that time. But we were honking and having fun pre-Super Bowl. I remember that, okay?
What
But
would this town be like with a Dolphins Super Bowl championship, man? Can you imagine the insanity?
it would go people would be off work. It
Yeah.
would be an absolute insanity if the Dolphins ever won the Super Bowl in this town. Yes,
So that's
that
how
would
I try to explain to my friends. I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like the Heat stuff was awesome. It was cool to have LeBron here and to have the rock stars and all that.
football, Canes
Yeah,
football,
it
amazing.
was awesome. But if the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, man, this town is just gonna melt. It's gonna melt down because it's just the pandemonium is gonna be at another level.
I remember one year in one of the Canes championships, a linebacker by the name of Derek Golden.
Uh-huh.
He spoke at the podium. Like that guy never played,
But
but
he thought, yeah,
he was a talker. And he got everybody pumped up, and everybody's like, "Wow, who is this guy?" It's like, and Derek, and I still remember the name to this day. And it was like a guy that, like, he was like the 6th or 7th linebacker on the goddamn team, but he was kind of like a glue guy in practice and that kind of stuff, and loved by the players, by his teammates, and all that. And he was a character, and I remember him addressing fans, and it was kind of a trip, man. But yeah, that is one thing that I'm thinking about this Sunday, and I feel bad for my media brethren that have to cover that because, my God, talk about a nightmare Sunday. That's a nightmare. You can only get in there by bridges, and only
yep.
to get. Oh my God, the Strip. Oh, that's not a good place.
I wish I would have done this, but I should have followed the cup on Monday and just followed the guys to the elbow room, down to the beaches. Like all of that footage was so awesome to see them jumping in the ocean with the trophy. That was awesome stuff, man.
That was that's pretty good shit, man. All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Yeah, I just did a podcast, the Until Saturday podcast, which is our main one. I did that with Ari Wasserman and my editor, Mitch Light. We recorded that Monday, came out yesterday, and just talking about recruiting, all the big storylines nationally, who's doing well, who's not. I'm going to have a recruiting column, my thoughts on the whole cycle, what's happened so far to this point nationally, sort of a national perspective. That'll be coming out tomorrow, and there'll be more stuff to read. I mean, it's kind of the wait and see period because now we enter the dead period in recruiting for the next month up until July 24th. And then it's all the media days, which I will be going to Charlotte. I'll be in Charlotte for 5 days for all 4 days of the of the ACC media kickoff event. So I'll be talking to all the coaches, all the teams, all the players. So I'll be down there working my butt off. We'll have people at the SEC media days. We'll have people at Big 10 and Big 12. So we'll be spread out. The Athletic will be there. But this is sort of that slow period now because recruiting has slowed down and guys are just making commitments. And that's kind of what happens over the next month.
There you go. Can't wait, huh, for that Hardee's breakfast when you're up there in Carolina. There you
gosh. Go. Yeah, same thing every morning. All right, brother.
All right, man. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you, sir. There you go. And don't forget Caneswear. Bro, Panthers have won. You got all your championship gear. You can go online to caneswear.com. Use our code BIGO10. So you will get 10% off your championship gear. That's pretty good. You get 10% off already, man. So take advantage, folks. Take advantage. All right. And go to caneswear.com. And if you order over $99, you will get free shipping at caneswear.com.